for SLR, the SLR F1 Season 7, the Division 1 Chinese Grand Prix. So here we go then. It's Darren on pole with Klutzy Winter alongside him with 4-5 red lights. And we are underway here in China, and it looks as though there's a Haas there coming straight through the middle. That is Hammy with a fantastic start. We've got the Alfa Romeos now going side by side into turn one. Darren sweeps around the outside of the pair of them, but the Alfa Romeos here with Dorsey and Klutzy Winter still battling out. We've got a yellow flag behind it. Looks as though there's a couple of cars off. It might be Paul and Ranga by the looks of things on the mid back, but what a start from Hammy. He's already off over a second ahead after just a few corners. Lightning fast reflexes off the start. And yeah, fantastic launch. And oh, was Klutzy getting very, very close to the back of Darren there. Very late on the brakes there from the Alfa Romeo driver. We've got a jostling for position behind it. Connor from 10th on the grid now, up 3 into 7th. So good start there for the Alpine driver. He saying he felt bit confident on his race pace, more so sorry, more confident in his qualifying pace than his race pace, but failed to get out of Q2. So that's a fantastic start there for him. As we've got some more battling behind, we've got a Ferrari and an Alpine going side by side by the looks of things into turn 11. That is Badders and Dream Team. Dream Team obviously trying to make the most of those soft compound tyres off of the start, and they're going to go side by side through Bertina. Dream Team's gone, and he's sliding off into the grass. And he's reset to track, and Ranga's gone as well, but he's not going to reset to track because, well, he's a bit more experienced in that position and knows that you're not allowed to do that. Elite and Sem now battling side by side into the hairpin of turn 14. And they're going to go side by side as well through the final corner of 16 with Van Dorn waiting in the wings, and Sem's gone. Sem has spun round off the final corner then. That's not an ideal start there for Sem. Both Williams cars 17th and 18th after just one lap, or 16th. Oh, I don't even know, the times have gone crazy. I think it's 16th and 18th after just one lap. But we'll go back to the battle out front then. It's Hammy in the lead still from Klutzy Winter. So Klutzy's gone past Darren as well in the midst of all the lap one chaos. So he's gotten back up ahead of Darren, although the pair of them have obviously, Klutzy, sorry, back into P2, but Darren's lost 2 positions now, as he was the pole sitter. I guess you can excuse Darren to a degree, because he'll have had cold tyres off the start. Klutzy Winter perhaps slightly more of a surprise, but I guess he was in second on the grid. So Hammy was closer to him than Darren. We've got an Alpha Tauri gone as well. Yeah, that's Mason Gammon. So quite a few spins already here,
yeah,
as there were clearly last time out in Bahrain.
I've got some updates on the start. The contact, as you called it, into turn 1. I think Ranga was sort of squeezed in between. It might have been Connor and maybe Bennett or Smoke, but that's just speculation. I didn't really catch it, but yeah, he went round into the path of Paul, who couldn't really avoid him. They ended up dropping down a lot. Paul had a bit of a moment in the middle sector as Dream Team has got past him. And yeah, Sem obviously spun off, as you said, and yeah, Ranga back round. Again on lap
sorry,
1.
James, we've got Connor down the inside into turn 1. He's having a look at clock. Connor's up another position, up to 6th, but now he's round. He's made contact. He's half spun, but he's caught the car just about. Big contact between the Alpine and the Haas car there. Can't believe Connor didn't spin. It looked for all the world that he was gone there, but he's done well to hold on, and he lives to fight another day. But definitely trying to make some moves at the start. Clock now sliding round turn 4 there under braking, and Bennett waiting in the wings to try. Sorry, that was turn 6. Bennett waiting in the wings to try and look for an avenue to make a move here. Bennett, I think, staying where he started in P7. We've got someone else gone again. That's another Williams car. That's Sem, I think, with another spin. Didn't have a great time out in Bahrain, did Sem, and he's not really going about it any better here tonight either. It seems as though as the timing screens still aren't sorting themselves out, there's kind of a bit of a split. Now we've kind of got the top 3, and then Dorsey's in a world of his own. Then there's sort of 5th to 10th, and then after that there is a group of a few cars, as we've got another car gone. That's Badders now in the Alpine. He's gone on the exit of 13 there, and I wonder if there was a bit of contact between the Aston Martins, because Bennett kind of got a little bit out of shape there at the hairpin, and he's lost quite a bit of ground there, so I wonder if Smoke just missed his braking point there, hit his teammate, because yeah, that's lost Bennett quite a bit of time here, as Klopp has now lost out to Connor, so Connor has found his way past the Haas and into P5. Out front then, Klutzy Winter has really pulled that gap down to Hammy. Obviously, fantastic start it was from the other Haas. It's currently 1st and 6th for them, so that's a fantastic result if it stays like that. As bad as retires then, so he's had enough already. But yeah, Hammy has been sort of reeled back in by the Alfa Romeo Klutzy Winter, and he's trying to push on, because Darren's just about outside of DRS range, and Dorsey is to Darren as well, so I guess Klutzy would rather this be a 2-horse race than a 3-horse race, and if he can get Darren out of the picture, it will perhaps give him a better chance to attack Hammy without any threat from behind. And it looks as though they've just about done it as they go through the detection point now. The gap just under a second, I think. I think Darren might have just held on there to clutch some DRS. We'll have a look. Yeah, I think he has. So that's really big for Darren's race, I think. If he can just stick in that DRS, he's going to really reap the rewards of it and kind of pull himself along and away from Dorsey as well. And you know, hopefully, if you can do it early on, you know, try and secure that position, then you know, you'll be in a good spot later on, kind of regardless of what happens. We've got some more action going on further down the field, James. I don't know if you've been keeping an eye on that.
Yeah, Sam has moved up into P8 past Smoke. You've got the move done down the inside into turn 6, just at the start of the middle sector, and then yeah, kind of consolidated that place through the long left-hander of 7. And I think there was a bit of weaving on the start-finish straight last lap from Bennett, just to sort of confirm what you had maybe suggested about there being a bit of contact between the Aston Martin boys. But no, I've seen that move from Sam. I've not really caught much else. There's a bit of a gap emerging really between Owen in 10th and then Dream Team in 11th, and that's really the top 10 point scorers, and then everyone else outside of that. But gap as well between Connor in 5th and Dorsey in 4th. So there's a few little groups starting to emerge now. Owen holding his own in the edge of the points, but I'm sure he won't be too upset with that at the moment if he can just find a second or so to catch up to this train.
Yeah, most definitely then. So, as you say, we've got, I think, Dream Team just getting past Van Dorn. That was at the start of the lap. So it's Ferrari, Mercedes, Ferrari there in the battle for P11, with Elite just at the back of that. Darren has then just about solidified himself in the DRS, but Dorsey's found a bit of time out of nowhere really in that middle sector, because he is now, he's gained a good 2-3 tenths there to try and give himself half a chance at the DRS, but just losing the car a bit out of turn 14, getting a little bit too eager on the throttle. Someone else who's eager on the throttle is Darren, as he spins out of the final corner. That was a corner that really proved to be a bit of a problem last season for some of the drivers, and it strikes once again as Darren then spinning into the barrier. I don't know if he's got any damage, but we've got Clock and Connor yet again going at it here into turns 1 and 2 and into 3 now, but Connor just about holding on. But I don't think this is the end of this battle, because Block's trying to push for that position back by the looks of things, and this is a good little battle going on here for P4. We've got 5 or 6 cars. There's Sam now going down the inside of Bennett. He got one Aston a couple of laps ago, and he's trying to get the other Aston Martin here as Bennett's really squirming on the throttle, trying to keep himself in this fight. Look at him down the inside. Sam is going to have the inside though for the next corner. There's a bit of contact between the pair of them, and Sam muscles his way then past the Aston Martin and into P6. So yeah, good move there. A little bit aggressive, but did what he needed to get himself through there, did Sam. And well, whether he kind of wanted it to happen that way or not, Klutzy has got a 2-horse battle then for the lead. I'm saying it like it was Klutzy that wanted it. I mean, I'm sure he's not complaining, but I doubt he was you know, praying that Darren spun like that. I'm sure if he wants anyone to, it's probably Hammy, considering Hammy is, to his credit, you know, the gap got brought down, but he's holding his own out at front, and he's not been overtaken just yet, as I think Ranga's gone again, coming out of 13.
Yes, he
So
can.
another corner that seems to be catching a few drivers out that we've not really seen before, James.
No, it's quite unusual. I guess maybe just getting on the throttle a bit too early and a bit of a lack of grip around that corner. I've been noticing in the bits of practice I've been doing. So I'm sure that won't be the last thing we see this weekend around there. But yeah, Dream Team into the pits, getting rid of those soft tyres that obviously he had to start the race on. But now onto the medium. So it looks like he's going for a nailed on two stop there, because I'd be very surprised if we could take those mediums to the end. So maybe hoping for a safety car, which of course we could still see. Chances of there being an incident, I mean, there's still 18 drivers and we've seen quite a few spins already, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do see any sort of safety car later on in this race. But yeah, the first pit stop, well, the first scheduled pit stop, should we say, has been made by Dream Team.
Yeah, this battle for P4 really hotting up. Sam was having another look down into turn 6, as he had done on Bennett the lap before. He had a little go on Clock, but Clock perhaps a little bit more wise to that attack, having seen Bennett obviously succumb to it the lap prior. But now Sam might have another look down into the hairpin here, but just not close enough. Clock obviously getting the DRS off of Connor as well, which is aiding his defence. And Clock was also having another little look at Connor down into turn 1 at the start of lap 7, sorry, as we're on lap 8 now. But not going to be close enough on this occasion, I don't think. So just a bit of a train starting to form now. Smoke is just about hanging on to the end of it, as Sam is going for a pretty opportunistic move now on Clock. Didn't really see an opening there, but he went for it and he got it, and there's a little bit of contact as Clock just drifting slightly over to Sam's line, coming out of the corner, trying to get on the traction. A little bit of contact made. Clock did well to hold the car, and Sam gets through then up into 5th. And I'll tell you what, he's made up a fair few positions in these opening laps. I mean, he's obviously got some pretty good pace here. The top 2 then still remain the same, and Dorsey is Mason Gammon is retired in the same place where Darren did. I was going to say, yeah, Dorsey's kind of just solidifying that gap at around 2.3 seconds. Not really been able to make any inroads into the top 2, but he's also not losing any time either, or he's gaining time, sorry. In fact, to Connor behind us, Sam as well.
Yeah, Clock did it the lap before.
Twitch out of 13. It does really seem to be proving a bit of an issue here for some of these drivers. It's definitely the handling through there definitely seems different on this game. It's a lot more unstable, I feel, and yeah, there's kind of twitchy on the exit. I've been getting that as well myself, so I can definitely understand why there's been a few spins there. DPT Paul as well, talking of spins, I believe has just had one, or that might have been Sem actually.
He had a bit of a moment. No, Paul had a bit of a moment at the hairpin, and then yeah, Sem spun round.
Yes, yeah, Sem just spun at turn 11, I think it was. So Ranga's re-overtaken him in what appears to be the battle for the wooden spoon at the moment. It seems to be, unfortunately, the case with Ranga, really. Has a fantastic first race or two, and then after Bahrain, obviously Bahrain being the first race this season, it was the second normally. After Bahrain, and there you go, it seems to go downhill, and it's gone downhill very rapidly as Ranga's also succumbed to turn 16, and he's also out now as well.
Could this be a safety car?
I mean,
that G1,
not had one for the other 3, or so. Yeah, seemingly the FIA not feeling the need to deploy the safety car for a car in the barriers on the exit of the final corner. You know, I'm not one to judge. I'm not one to question it, but I think you'd see a safety car more often than not, wouldn't you? Sam then, is he going to be able to get Connor this time? A long way back, but he's reeling in. Look at the overspeed he's got on the Alpine, but not quite close enough to warrant a move on this occasion. But he had a real think about it, had a good look down the inside, but just not quite confident enough that he was going to be able to make that corner and give Connor enough room, I think. So he backed out. You know, only lap 10 we're on, so a long way to go yet. You know, almost 2/3 of the race still. So no real need there to risk it, because to be honest, 6 seconds, nearly 7 seconds from Connor to Dorsey. It's very unlikely, I feel, that without a mistake from one of the top 3 that these guys are going to get any further up the order than P4. Because as well, to be honest, Van Dorn, albeit on the hards as he's gone for it, down the inside, a very late move. And yeah, just a bit too hot on the brakes. Connor just getting the switchback done. Did well to really avoid contact, the pair of them there, because that could have quite easily ended in disaster. But got away with it. Yeah, as I was saying, Van Dorn on the hards, slightly gaining obviously as a benefit of that. But yeah, that gap from Smoke to Van Dorn's pretty comfortable at 2.5 seconds as Paul and Owen are battling it out in the middle sector.
Yeah, Owen got a bit of damage out of turn 4, just got a bit too hot on the throttle, and yeah, clipped his left side of his wing into the barrier. He'd lost the position for P9, so Van Dorn at the hairpin last lap, a pretty easy move with the DRS aid for the Mercedes driver. But yeah, Owen now with that damage was having a nice race inside the points. But yeah, unfortunately, he's gonna have a tough task to get himself back into the points from here.
Yeah, we've not seen it, but at the front, Hammy has suddenly pulled away quite considerably. The gap now 2 seconds between himself and Clutzy Winter. Oh, did he? Is he back in?
I've invited him, but he's not joined it.
Alright, sorry, I missed that. So yeah, that's a real shame for Clutzy, because it was looking like it was going to be a really nice battle for the victory, or the lead of the race as it is at the moment. His Dream Team's gone on the exit of the hairpin, and we have got a safety car now. You might have thought we'd had one already for the other couple of incidents, but we have got one now then. Safety car making its first appearance this weekend. Dream Team then out as well, so we've got 4 retirements already in this race, and that will see pretty much everyone, I'd imagine, come into the pits. To be honest, if you're on the hards, you can just about stretch a set of mediums to the end from here. I mean, you've kind of got to, really, haven't you, James? I mean, you can't really afford to effectively be a pit stop down to everyone and hope for a safety car or something later on. Because I mean, we've seen two crashes before the one that Dream Team's just had, and they haven't caused any movement down with the safety car. So. Personally, if I'm on the hards here, I'm going for a set of mediums, and I'm going to try and stretch them to the end, because they're going to have the tyre advantage, at least for the first sort of 10-11 laps anyway, because obviously all these medium runners still pretty much, with the exception of Darren and Liam, are at the front of the field. So I'd imagine we're going to see pretty much everyone into the pits, whether it's for hards or mediums. I'd be surprised if anyone goes onto the softs and 2 stops from here, but who knows. So yeah, we've got Hammy in, we've got Clutzy in, and Dorsey, so Alfa Romeo's going to be double stacking, but Dorsey's got a massive gap behind him, so he should be completely fine when it comes to any threat of being jumped in the pit. So yeah, Hammy onto the hards. I think this was probably around about the pit window anyway, wouldn't you say, James?
Yeah, maybe 1 or 2 laps earlier than they would have liked, but at least for most of the field they'll all be bunched up again. Obviously, we're going to get a few stacking as we see Smoke has had to stack behind Bennett, but not on the whole. Kind of levels it all out, and everyone's back in the race really. So I'm not really complaining about it. But yeah, maybe a lap or 2 earlier than they would have liked. Yeah.
Okay. So it looks as though everyone's done what I said, apart from Elite. Elite's gone for the softs, so he's gone brave on the strategy. He's gone aggressive, and he's gone onto the soft combat tyres. Van Dorn and Paul, who were both on the hards, have gone onto the mediums, and Sem's just coming in now, and I imagine he'll go onto the mediums as well. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one either, to be honest, James, because he's effectively giving the whole field 20 odd seconds on him, which is, you know, it's a tall order to make up, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it seems like a pretty interesting call. You guys actually have gone for the mediums. I guess having started on the hards.
As I said, they might. Like I say, you could probably stretch the mediums just about from here.
Yeah, I've just noticed Sem's actually coming off some hards that he probably could have taken to the end to go on to the mediums, I guess, in
I think
P15.
Sem had started on those,
Got
mate.
nothing to lose. Had he? Oh, I thought he'd already pitted. My
Yep,
bad.
Sem was on the hards, as were Van Dorn and Paul, hence
Ah,
they've
yeah,
gone mediums.
I'm getting him mixed up with Mason, I think, who pitted earlier on. Uh, that's my bad. But I think Klutzy Winter's back. Oh no, he's not back in. I've sent him a couple of invites. As Liam's now. Oh, he's been having. I think Southerner put it in the chat earlier that his wheel kept turning off. So my guess would be that that's what's happened, judging by where his car's ended up.
Yeah, we'll go to Sem and have a quick look, I suppose. That's a real shame if that is what's happened. Yeah, I think it looks as though it might have been what's just happened there.
Oh,
with
as
Liam,
Hammy's
which
now
is-
gone off behind the safety car. He's gone off onto the grass on the start finish straight, and that has allowed Klutzy Winter's AI car to go into the lead of the race. And now Hammy's
and he's got a penalty
for collision. I didn't catch that. Maybe that's why he ended up on the grass. But yeah, Liam's wheel did turn off as well. But yeah, just a bit of a
Hey
shambles at the
James,
front.
we got action in the pits. The Aston Martin team, Smoke has opted to do the one lap on the hards, which he needed to warrant, using both or two sets of tyres, two compounds of tyres, and he's gone for the mediums to the end.
Yeah,
So
why not?
Smoke's going aggressive on the strategy call. Only losing, well, he's lost about 6 or so positions from it, but he's on the medium compound tyres now.
He was in about a P11 anyway after the pit stop.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, because he got held up behind Bennett. So yeah, why not? We'll go for it. But I've now completely forgotten what I was going to say. As I said, because he went to back in. But yeah, I was going to say Hammy now with that 5-second penalty. The safety car really hasn't helped him. Obviously had quite a nice.
Well, the safety car didn't
after
help him in the first place because he had about 10 seconds plus to Connor, and 2 to Klutzy, and about 5 to Dorsey. So he's lost a massive advantage here, as Hammy. I guess the one positive for him is that it's still Klutzy's AI by the looks of things that's in front of him, so he should be able to get past it relatively easy. As he's still got the X above his name.
Yeah, he might not have taken the control yet, but he just joined the session.
Oh, there we are. Now he's back in. Hammy's used that opportunity by the looks of things to get back past him. So yeah, there you go. I don't I don't know quite how he's managed it, but Hammy is back in the lead then, and he is going to take us off of the restart then. He's going to go straight away pretty much off the exit of 16. Slightly catches Klutzy out, you have to say, albeit Klutzy's got no threat from Dorsey behind either. Clock's lost a little bit of time in the pits, I guess. Sort of the mechanic of stacking or pitting on the same lap as your teammates costs Clock a second and a couple of positions, hence why he's perhaps lost that to Bennett, because I believe he was ahead of the Aston Martin before the pit stops, as Connor misses his braking point and hits the back of Dorsey at turn 6, and Sam gets on through as well. I don't know if Connor's gotten damage from that. There's yellow flags behind, and there's a bit of chaos going on. I think the two McLarens seem to have dropped off and lost a bit of time from whatever happened back there as well. But yeah, big mistake from Connor, that just missing his braking point, hitting the back of Dorsey. Not only that, possibly getting some damage as well, and losing out that position to Sam is just really not ideal for his race. He was having a fantastic drive, was Connor, up in P4, and seemingly just a little mistake, little lapse of concentration. Doesn't appear to have any damage though by the looks of things, because he's actually pulling away from Bennett. That gap now nearly over a second. Clock looking to attack Bennett as well, down into the hairpin. Hammy's now got another 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags.
Yeah, he's left the session as well, so I'm not sure what's going on there.
I don't know if that's some sort of glitch then or what.
I presume so by the looks of it. I think Sam's going to be looking at a move on Dorsey into turn 1 here. Harry's going to look at the inside, and Dorsey's just letting go.
Out. I'll tell you what, James, Sam's got a very good shot at winning this race. I think we, I was saying only a matter of laps ago that, oh, with the gaps between everyone, it looks unlikely that any of those lot in that group were going to get higher than 4th. And here's Sam looking on for possibly at least P2 now with Hammy's penalties and the pace that he's showing. Doesn't really, or hasn't really yet shown any signs of stopping either.
Clock's
All he's
lost
been
a
doing
couple
is
this lap.
attacking on the front foot, making overtakes, and now he's up to 3rd. Yeah, Clock has dropped a couple. He's lost one to Elite, who's on the softs.
Van Dorn's got past Bennett and Clock this lap from 8th to 6th, and yeah, Elite got past Clock as well. Clock's down 2 from 7th to 9th. And it's now Elite's going at the inside of Bennett into turn 11. I think they've just about got away with that cleanly. And yeah, the Ferrari man up into P7, and he's got his sights set on Van Dorn now. Up 10 places from where he started, but of course on those soft compound tyres, so he will definitely have to make another pit stop in this race.
Yeah, fantastic restart from Elite. I think Smoke's looking to make a move on Owen, then down into the hairpin. Here he goes, down the inside. Goes the Aston Martin on the McLaren, and Smoke is up to 11th. Nice move there. Pretty easy move as well. And Darren's gone again, James. He's gone again at the final corner. Not
got away with it
seemingly
again.
as bad this time. And just unfortunately another mistake from the pole sitter. Klutzy Winter then right on the back now of Hammy. I think it is an AI though, Hammy's AI. So this is, all the while Klutzy's behind this car. Sam's going to have an opportunity to close that gap down and possibly get himself into DRS range, because DRS has been reactivated. Obviously this being the 3rd lap since the safety car restart, we got the DRS back. So that should hopefully make it a bit easier for these guys to make some moves here. We've got, as Hammy's just rejoined by the looks of things, as the timing's kind of all messed up as a result. We've got a yellow flag, we've got a Haas round, that's Clock. Clock's gone in the middle sector by the looks of things, James, as the timings are all going crazy, and I need to find Clock. Where is he? I think he's just had a bit of a spin there down at turn 9 by the looks of things, and just a pretty bad restart from Clock, unfortunately, and just gone from bad to worse with that spin. Hammy's in AI now, but I think he's back in the session, and Klutzy Winter is really trying to push. He wants his Haas out of the way. You can tell how much time he's losing from this debacle with the AI, and now this has given Sam the chance to get himself up into that fight. He's got DRS on the pair of them. Dorsey's dropped out over a second, so Dorsey again not quite able to hang it in there with the leaders. Otherwise his pace is pretty good, and Klutzy Winter hits the back of Hammy, and Klutzy Winter's gone now. A chaotic restart.
Whoa,
it's just getting even crazier. Klutzy Winter now spinning, and what's happened on the rejoin, James?
He's spun back right onto the middle of the track, right onto the racing line for turn 2, and yeah, Owen couldn't avoid him, smacked the back of him. I hope the McLaren hasn't got any damage, but that's completely ruined his race. Smoke had to slow down a lot to avoid it as well. Yeah, just a bit of a messy rejoin, unfortunately. Obviously frustrating for the Alfa Romeo driver, losing all those places after the mistake, but yeah, I think he's kind of ruined a couple guys' races there in the process.
Yeah, that's a real shame that, not only for himself but the other guys that maybe got caught up in it. Sam not quite in DRS range of Hammy at the moment, but obviously Hammy has got, I think, about 10 seconds worth of penalties, so I guess at the moment, if Sam can stay, maybe try and stay within 5, and that covers even if Hammy gets one of them removed. That would still be enough for Sam at this moment in time. Van Dorn having a look at Connor trying to make a move. He's of course on the medium compounded tyres.
I think we're going to see
make some moves. Look at him, he's up 8 off the start. Sam up 9, Elite up 11, and Sem up 9 as well. Sem's actually into 9th. So despite having multiple spins off the start, James, that safety car's really pulled Sem back into the frame.
Yeah, it certainly has. He was absolutely nowhere, I'm sure he won't mind me saying, until a couple of laps ago, and yeah, up into P9. So good recovery drive here from Sem, and yeah, as I was going to say, I'm pretty sure we're going to see an Aston Martin switch in a second or so. As yep, out of turn 3, they are doing it right here. Bennett letting smoke through, which is the smart thing to do. Obviously, smoke on those fresh mediums decided to pit twice being the safety car, and I'm not too sure what's happened to Bennett, but he seems to just be lacking a bit of pace to keep up with the rest of the pack off the safety car restart. But yeah, smoking is in 7th and Bennett back down into 8th.
Yes, Sam's just dropped off a little bit as well, James. Also about a second to Hammy in the last sort of lap or so. He was about 1.1 the last time we got to the DRS detection zone on the exit of turn 12. He's now about 2.2, and Dorsey's firmly within DRS range of the Red Bull. Using some battery then out of 13 down this long back straight to try and maybe go for an attack here into the hairpin. He's going to have a look. Is he down the inside? Thinks about it. Not close enough. Just, you know, eyeing him up, testing the waters, I think, waiting for a better opportunity when he's a bit closer, possibly next lap. And I think that's kind of the thing with China, isn't it, really? It's generally a decent track for overtaking, but just the sort of understeer and the dirty air you get through turn 13, turns 12 and 13, that sort of long right-hander, it does make it quite difficult to actually set up a pass. You have got to be pretty darn close to someone heading into that corner to sort of, I guess, kind of acknowledge that you're going to lose a couple of tenths through it, and then obviously you're going to have the run down the straight. So yeah, it's kind of more difficult than you might think, really, because obviously Van Dorn, I think, kind of showing that. I know he's in a DRS train with Connor up ahead, obviously getting the DRS off Dorsey, but Van Dorn on the medium compound tyres compared to the 4 guys ahead of him on the hards, but he's not really been able to go for a move on Connor. In fact, he seems to be the one kind of struggling a bit more than Connor at the moment, all the hard compound runners, because he's dropped off a little bit of time here. Elite now trying to join in on the action, as well as Dorsey's gone. Dorsey's gone on the exit of 11, so another spinner. It's the Spin Grand Prix here in China. Dorsey gone as well. So Dorsey's been running in the podium places for the whole race, the first 19 laps, and it's all gone in an instant. Alfa Romeo, it was a 1-3, a 2-3, and it's now a 9-10 disaster for the Alfa Romeo team. They're going to have to try and pick themselves up and keep going, though.
Of course, I don't know, there's a little spin at the back as well. As I think, oh yeah, Dorsey into the pits, and yeah, also
possibly got some damage. Yeah, it looked like he got pretty close to the barriers after that spin, James. So I think maybe he picked up a bit of damage. Well, he's picked up some damage, perhaps to his confidence, because he's calling it a day. So Dorsey's done then. That's a real shame, because he was looking nailed on, wasn't he, for the first basically 20 laps for a podium. And just one mistake, so cruel, this sport, you know, one little mistake and that's it. Your race is over in a flash. But we go back now to the battle at the front. Connor was just about getting himself up there to possibly get into Sam's DRS, but just a bit of a mistake again through turn 10, and that's lost him a couple of tenths, and that's not only drops him or lost him the chance to maybe get Sam's DRS, but it's also maybe going to allow Van Dorn to go for a move, as Connor's harvesting. He's very low. Look at this, 3% on the battery. Goes defensive, but it's not going to be enough, as I've kind of cocked up the camera. But we can have a look now. Van Dorn on the switchback. Apologies, I've absolutely ruined the camera. But Van Dorn on the switchback gets the move done. It was a very nice move by the looks of things then from the Mercedes driver. He's up into third, then Connor down to fourth. But considering Connor's restart, safety car restart, I can't believe first off that he didn't get any damage, but yeah, he's doing pretty well to hang on in there in P4, and they've got a nice nearly 4-second gap back to Smoke. Have the top four. It's Smoke and then Bennett in 5th and 6th at the moment for Aston Martin. Plutzy's doing pretty well to recover, it has to be said.
Yeah, just
back into 8th
any sort of battle on track, and I think this battle for P6 behind Bennett could be
Yeah, we got a bit of
the
a
closest one.
bit of a train going on here, haven't we? Yeah, Clutzy sooner or to recover. Does have still some pretty decent pace. Sam as well is up to 7th. How on earth he's in this position, I don't quite know, but
I thought he was
fair
gone,
play
but he
to him.
managed to hold it.
Yeah, was that Bennett? Was it getting all out of shape, out of 10?
Yeah, it was. It looked like I made a bit of a weird noise. It looked like he was heading for the barriers, but yeah, he was just able to hold it. It was a pretty good save, I think. Yeah, got a good view of it from on board with Sam.
This track seems to be a real challenge, doesn't it, for the drivers?
Absolutely,
It's pretty much every corner has caught someone out at some point this weekend, by the looks of things. And obviously we're only on the first of 4 races, with Division 1 obviously kicking us off on the Friday night. No F2 this week, but of course that will return at Spain next time out, as Smoke getting pretty wide there out of the final corner as well.
Van Dorn's
So then,
come out of nowhere to end up in P3.
Yeah, a little, to be fair.
I can't remember either. Is really
He was
mentioning his name already.
He was in about 8th or 9th on the hards before the safety car came out, and then he went for the mediums, obviously, because he couldn't go onto the hards again. And yeah, he's made a few places up, and is now up to 3rd and trying to push on, I think, to Sam. Hammy's out front, obviously 2.6 second lead, looking pretty comfortable, but unfortunately he's got 10 seconds worth of penalties, so it's kind of to no avail, really. That's going to drop him well down the order. I mean, that's going to possibly put him behind Klutzy even, down in P8 at least at the moment, albeit there's still kind of 6 and a third of a lap remaining, so a long way to go, really. Elite went on to another set of softs. He's in P12 and about 11 seconds off of the points, so fair play to him if he can get some points by the end of the race, because it's going to be a tough ask. I think Sem is looking for 2 more points by the looks of things. He doesn't want 6, he wants 8, as he's looking to go for the move on Bennett, but again, just not quite able to get the move done. Bennett defending the inside at the hairpin and defending it well. Sem not able to get past on this occasion. Elite with the fastest lap then, 32.6, so he's obviously got some pace on those fresh softs. Already gained about a second net to Paul, who's kind of his target, you got to say, at this stage now. He's in P10, is Paul, so that's a chance for Paul as well. Actually, is another driver that was that didn't have a brilliant start to the race, but that safety car's really helped him as well get back into contention. And there's a few drivers who were having fantastic races, and in some ways the safety cars really not helped them. Obviously, namely Klutzy, Winter, and Clock.
And Hammy, I guess, Chloe.
Well, yeah, I guess the field now kind of really spread out. There's only really this battle for, I suppose, P5 it is, that's going on at the moment. Paul is just outside of Darren's DRS, but I guess we got Elite actually, sorry. He has a little look down the inside and taps the back of Sem. So yeah, sorry, we got Elite now trying to work his way past Owen. He's got DRS. Not going to be close enough here, but he might be able to have a look down into turn 1 if he can get the run out the hairpin, and then turn 16. Just a few tenths back, and with the help of some battery,
yeah, he's going to get him, I think.
And the DRS, I think this should be a pretty easy move for Elite, who's gained another second or so to pull this lap, but it's nowhere near enough. He needs 9 seconds in 5 laps, so he needs pretty much 2 seconds a lap, does the Ferrari driver.
He needs some sort of instant ahead, doesn't he, really?
Yeah, Paul being on the mediums as well, it's definitely going to be difficult, because he's not going to have that as large a pace advantage than what he would have if Paul were on hards. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a tough one for Elite. not out of it just yet, though. As you say, James, an incident up ahead would really bring back into it. Darren as well, another driver that's been helped by the safety car, obviously with that spin early on, albeit had another little moment at turn 16 as well, after the safety car had come in, but he's still in the points in P9, and to be honest, given the way that his race has unfortunately gone after qualifying on pole, I'm sure he won't, you know, he'll be on the one hand disheartened, but on the other, I'm sure a couple of points is perhaps, you know, in some ways not too bad for him, given the way that his race has gone. So we've got Hammy out in front then, as we start lap 25. He's got a 3-second lead to SLR Sam, who's got 2.3 seconds to Van Dorn. Van Dorn's got 1.8 to Connor, and Connor's got 2.8 to Smoke. So those top 5 really starting to spread out now. Smoke, though, has got a big train of well, big train, 4 cars. That is a big train at the moment. Anyway, 3 cars behind him, 4 cars in it. With Bennett, his teammate, and then Sem and Lutzi Winter. I guess that is the one thing, James, you could say, with the Aston Martins running 5th and 6th line astern. Obviously, they can kind of work together to defend from Sem, and then Lutzi Winter, obviously, secondary to that. I mean, they've already made contact in this race, but you know, I guess if Smoke says I'll move to the left down the straight, if you want to go to the right, and you know, they can keep the guys behind, hopefully, because obviously. I guess it's a team game as much at this point as it is a driver's game, albeit Smoke winning the first race as Clutzy Winter's going for an audacious move down the inside of Sem, which was never going to work. Bennett, though, getting all out of shape as well, which has nearly dropped him out of Smoke's DRS. So, yeah, again, just a couple more mistakes creeping in. That was never going to work from Clutzy, really.
He is out of the DRS.
Maybe just getting a bit frustrated because he's been staring at Sem's gearbox for the last sort of 4 or 5 laps. But Bennett as well, I think might have actually just lost DRS to Smoke in that incident, but he's already back within a second.
Yeah, I was about to say before that little mistake from Bennett, I wouldn't be too surprised if the Aston Martin swap back round again in a minute. It looks like this mediums on
12 lap
car
hole,
might
13
be,
lap hole mediums.
Yeah, might be starting to fade a bit. And
was
no
Bennett
idea
clipping
there.
something there?
I have
He might be
no
clipping
idea
something, and he's kind of really paid the price for maybe an. I don't know whether he had a bit of contact with someone or what, but yeah, Bennett went into AI just momentarily, and unfortunately lost a couple of places from him. I'm not sure if he necessarily needed to clip anything there. I didn't actually notice anything myself that looked like it needed recording, but yeah, that's a real shame for Bennett there, because it's lost him a couple of spots. And Smoke, on the other hand, though, for the Aston Martin team, has got over a second to Sem, although it dropped just below for a moment, but Sem got all out of shape through 9 and 10. So Smoke should just about have a buffer for now then, but Clutzy Winter might have a look at Sem down into turn 14 on this occasion, but Sem got a fantastic run there out of the snail, and he's not going to be challenged into the hairpin. Sem having a fantastic recovery drive into P6. He's on for his first points of the season, and yeah, 8 of them at the moment. Be fantastic for him and for his confidence as well. Obviously Sem moving to the wheel,
starting last as well.
and starting last, yeah, moving to the wheel, having a bit of trouble with the traction, and
Ooh,
things have gone
Bennett's
from
gone.
bad to worse for Bennett as he spins out of the final corner now, and that might also be Elite's chance at a point. It's a real shame for Bennett. Got a feel for him. He was in 6th a lap ago. Just seen again out of shape. But yeah, on the other hand, I guess maybe unnecessarily recorded a clip. I don't know. Maybe there was something that happened that we missed, but it didn't look like it to me. Darren as well, being attacked by Paul, but just staying ahead in P8 for the time being. As Block just picking up a time penalty there, but he's a long way back. In fact, he's pitted again. I think going for the fastest lap is Block. As yeah, we've just kind of flown by actually. We've got 1 lap remaining, or just over a lap remaining. Hammy obviously leading the race, but I think it is. Well, that's it's going to be Sam who's going to take it, and I think Van Dorn and Connor are going to be joining him on the podium. Smoke, I think, just going to be too far back to gain a position, but P5 is not bad from him at all, considering he went for that strategy call, pitting again under the safety car.
Tim might have something to say about that P5, and I think Con might have something to say about the P3 that Van Dorn currently has as well. Although
Balls past Darren as well, James, for P8.
Yeah, as I was saying, I think Connor's just lost a bit of time to Van Dorn, which might lose him any chance to sneak onto the podium on track anyway. Yeah, Smoke's gonna have a really tough task in his last lap, I think, holding back Sem, who just seems to have a bit of an edge on the Aston Martin driver at the moment. Smoke does have the ERS advantage though, so
time to start using it then.
Yeah, that could be the difference heading onto the long back straight for the final time as clock takes Elite's fastest lap and Owen gets past Bennett for P11. Action right to the end at the back of the
Is
track.
Connor going to be within a second? I think he is just about, but he's not going to be anywhere near close enough to actually go for any realistic kind of move. Sem's also not close enough to Smoke, but Klutzy might fancy his chances at Sem, because look at that, the light flashing on Sem. He's got no battery left. Klutzy down the inside into the hairpin. Hammy does take the win, but it's going to be Sam. Hammy had possibly even 15 seconds of penalties actually, and Klutzy does he get Sem? Just about get Sem. Hammy did have 15 seconds because Smoke got fourth in the end. It was Van Dorn second, Connor third.
Klutzy has a timing glitch.
Yeah, Klutzy has a timing glitch. Sorry,
so
I think he might be ahead of Sem and Hammy. Sem just under 2/10 off of Hammy himself. Paul in 7th, so decent recovery from both Williams drivers there. 6th and, well, it'll be, sorry, 7th and 8th. Darren 9th, Klutzy I think should be 5th if we can get it right. And I believe Owen 10th, if that works out.
Elite went at the final
just
corner.
Spinning at the end. What a shame, because he'd gotten himself back into the points, and it all unravelled, which is a real shame for him. Another driver fallen victim to turn 16. But it is SLR Sam then who takes the victory here in China. He's going to be joined on the podium by Van Dorn and Connor. If we can get them in the party, please. So then, there you have it. From 11th on the grid, it is SLR Sam who takes victory here in China. Van Dorn as well from 13th up 11 to take P2, and Connor as well up 7. So all the drivers then that finished on the podium got knocked out in Q2. So fantastic out from them, and kind of, you know, what we were saying at the start of the weekend, wasn't it? That qualifying perhaps isn't everything here. So I think we got the top 3 in the party. So I'll hand it. Oh, well, I'll say first off, congratulations to the top 3, and I'll hand it off to James for the interviews. Just remember to tick your boxes, guys.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just looking at the the votes for driver of the day. I'll have to tally them for a minute. I think it's between Connor and Senna and Van Dorn, all there's a few. But anyway, yeah, we'll start off with the third place driver, who was of course SLR Connor, benefiting from those penalties to Hammy at the end to take home P3 after starting in P10, qualifying just outside the top 10 as well, but obviously moving up a couple positions. I'm sure you'll be pretty pleased with the podium.
Honestly, like when we started restarted the lobby for the second time, I was about to just jump off, and I was so glad that I didn't, because it went so well. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't believe it. So yeah, it went really well.
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't. Yeah, sorry, I wasn't expecting you to just stop. But no, obviously you had quite an eventful race. I think, as well, most people had quite an eventful race. But yeah, obviously you were kind of always there or thereabouts. You had a really good start, actually, moving up quite a few places, and then kind of just settled in on the edge of the podium. But yeah, obviously that penalty for Hammy moved you up at the end. But obviously going into it, was a podium your thoughts, or were you just kind of hoping to get to the end of the race?
Just send it really, because I was P12, and then we jumped up 2 positions, and then got up to P6 after lap 1, 4 positions in the first lap, which was great. And then I seemed to get in the rhythm, which I've never been able to get in the rhythm around here. And then all of a sudden, I'm in this rhythm and I'm making pace, and it's the first time I've ever felt comfortable around the track. And yeah, so that was great. Sam did really well. I had a good little battle with Van Dorn as well. I was chasing him down towards the end as well. So yeah, it was really good. What happened with Hammy's pen? What did you get the penalties for?
I'm not really sure. I saw he got one for a collision beyond the safety car, then he got one for ignoring yellow flags, but he ended up with 15 seconds and he saw 2 5-second penalties. So yeah, I'm not really sure what's happening with that. But as far as I'm aware, penalties don't get removed. So
in hindsight, at one point I had both Sam and Van Dorn behind me. And it kind of ruined what could have been as well. But at the same time, 3rd from 12th is a fantastic result. So just look at the positives really.
Yeah, exactly. Well said. And yeah, congratulations on the podium. We'll move on to second stage driver, SLR Van Dorn. Another driver of the day worthy performance. Not quite sure he's got it. I'll have to sort that out, as I said. But yeah, it kind of came out of nowhere in some ways. It looked like you had one of the quieter races, just sort of picking your way through and avoiding the incidents of others. But yeah, finishing in P2 after yeah, well, I guess what I think it looked like was quite a quiet race, but I'm sure you can fill us in a bit more on what it was for you.
To be fair, it was actually pretty quiet race. I was just picking people off every so often when they were making mistakes, and to be honest, I didn't think I was going to be anywhere this race, because when we got into the lobby restart, I didn't put my setup on. I totally forgot about it, so I went out of the room. So to still get a second with no setup, that's good for me, and I've had no practice all week, so it went pretty good. I was just picking people off, just keep myself in the lines of the track, and then that was it.
Yeah, well, without a setup, that sounds like you obviously had some really good pace. I don't think many people would be able to not run a setup and still end up on the podium. So yeah, very very good job from yourself. We will finish up with SLR Sam then. First ever race win in SLR, unless I'm completely forgetting one. But looks like the way to win in SLR is to change your name. But yeah, with all that said, yeah, pretty, I guess, poor qualifying. You'd have to say you obviously showed good pace last week, and to be outside the top 10, I'm sure you won't mind me saying you'd probably be quite disappointed with that. But obviously didn't affect you at all in the race, and moving through and benefiting off of Hammy's penalties to take your first SLR win.
Yeah, qualifying was the definition of a shocker. My wheel was having issues and it was all going a bit mental. So that was really disappointing. But then I knew I had some sort of pace. I didn't know how much compared to others. So I just tried to pick through as best I could. I sent some bold moves. I think I did a ridiculous double corner, which I apologise for because that was a bit too much. But yeah, it was. I don't know what to say.
Do you know what? I've also completely forgotten what I was going to say as well. Looks like there's something to go on.
Lost for words. There we are.
Yeah,
It was that good a performance.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a real struggle working out who to give a driver the day to with all the votes that are tied up or whatever. But I'm sure you'll definitely be up for consideration as well. But yeah, I guess just congratulations on a fantastic drive and taking your first win.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Yeah, we've had all sorts of issues tonight, Harry. So I guess
Yeah,
we better
I'll
wrap it up
up.
quite quickly
Yeah.
and just forget about this one as soon as possible. Well,
Well, yeah,
thank
thank you all. Thank you all for coming in. Anyway, those of you that came onto the stream, regardless of the issues, again, apologies for that, but not a lot we can do. As well, congratulations to the top 3. Again, brilliant racing from everyone. But yeah, be sure to join us. Hopefully, for a couple of streams throughout the rest of the weekend with some less issues. Of course, Division 2 and 3 tomorrow night, and then Elite on Sunday. And we'll be at Spain next week, Division 1. So see you there. Thank you all for watching.